Hello everyone, my name is Gurjot Singh and this is my presentation on how to work safely in the laboratory. So, the first step in the safety behavior in the lab is wearing personal protective equipment or the PPE. It is one of the most basic form of protection which should be worn before working in the labs. It helps us to ensure safety of our and other fellows that are working in the labs. The first one is wearing the lab coat. It should be worn all the time while working in the lab as it prevents any chemicals from entering our body or to come in contact with our clothes. And the next one is to take care of our hands as they are one of the most vulnerable body part as we handle all the chemical and all the laboratory stuff with our hands only. So wearing proper gloves whenever needed is absolutely necessary. Next one is the eyes. Eyes are most important body organ to us, and they are also very vulnerable. So to protect them from getting any droplets or any spill or any case of any accident, the eye protection helps to protect our eyes from the hazardous chemical and other substances. The next few precautions are that there should be no hanging or dropping clothes from whenever we are working in the lab as they can cause any spill and or they can absorb the chemical which can then come in contact with the body. And the same goes with the hairs. They can also mess around and can cause huge accidents and can cause much problems for working in the lab. When in the lab, we are always surrounded by substances or chemicals that can cause harm to us, and they are known as hazard. And hazard in particular are defined as a potential substance that can cause harm to us. And to protect us from that, and in order us to know about it, the WIM symbols are produced. As we can see in the figure, there are different symbols for the substances that are corrosive or that cause health hazard and that are flammable. So these are all the pictures that help us to identify the substance which has the following hazards. It also helps us to dispose them correctly as the one which has the hazardous to the aquatic environment symbol. We need to dispose it properly so that it doesn't mess around with the aquatic life or cause harm to them. As it is an international system, so the symbols are all the same and the suppliers from all around the world uses them so they can be easily identified and can prevent us from any potential harm. SDS or the safety data sheets act as a biopic of the chemicals or the substances that we use in the laboratory. It is present for every chemical that is present. It helps us to know the information about the handling, the storage of the chemical that we use. It also has information regarding what PPE kit should be used for working with the chemical and the chemical hazards that is come with. The first stage measure and the knowledge such as how to handle in case of a spill and information about the supplier is present in the safety data sheets. It should be always referred to while working with or before working with the chemical to know how hazardous it is and how to handle it properly. And then comes one of the basic precaution which should always be taken care while working in the lab to ensure our safety. The first one is never drink or eat anything in the lab as we are always surrounded by the chemicals, so there is a chances of contamination on what we drink and eat, and also on the experiment that we are conducting. Next one is wearing the full length clothes and the closed toe shoes. As in case of a spill, the shoes will protect our legs and also our toes from getting any burns or getting any chemical spill on that. The next one is following the standard operating procedures. That is, we need to stick to the procedure that is provided, procedure step that we are provided with. In case experiment doesn't go well, we can't change that as we have to go with the steps only. The next one is the never work alone in the lab. As working with with someone in the labs help us in case of any emergency or in case of any hazard or chemical spill.